7. It's been 84 years since week 6 played, but we're going to try and reach back into those memories and see if we can remember anything. But we thought
What
we'd
year are
start.
we in?
Yeah, it's now 2025, right? But yeah, so we're gonna have a look at week 6, which happened a long while ago. So the funny thing is that I actually looked at these games and now I've forgotten about them. So I did actually research this week, honestly.
Get in.
I've forgotten it, so it'll just feel like it's usual and we've done nothing. But yeah,
It's only taken 7 weeks for one of us to do some research.
I know, and I peaked too early in the mid-season
What a
break.
professional you are, Greg.
Right, have the two of you enjoyed our mid-season? Are we calling it a break or delay or frustration?
Holiday.
Yeah, took the team to Vegas. Had a little, little bit of downtime. A few of them got arrested, but that's fine. Part of the course.
Who was looking after the pets?
Oh
Good
no,
question.
the pets came.
The pets came to Vegas.
Pets
right,
came with us. Yeah. Yeah, they brought them all. Dogs, cats, iguanas, llamas. They all came.
Sounds like a Vegas show.
Yeah, it was. They weren't out of place in Vegas, to be fair.
Oh, good. Right. Well, I'm glad Matt remembered the pets. Good stuff, Matt. Good stuff. Right. Okay. So week 6, we had a little look at predicting the far future of these games. So we'll start with Monday Night Football because that's the redaction. That's where you come to watch Monday Night Football, right? And it was yourself, Jez, against the Aztecs. What happened?
Yeah, I know we won, but I can't remember what the score was. Oh, there we go.
45-10. Now that's feeling. That's feeling close. That's feeling close. Who are we giving that one to?
You had the 45, I had the 10. And we were both 7 points out on the other score.
Oh, I think the
Matt, we
important.
can discount Matt because he's got nowhere near.
That's the important part.
I've
That's the
got
important
nowhere near. That's pretty blooming close as well.
You didn't get a single score right. That's
No.
nowhere near.
No, I think that's the important part, Jez, is we can definitely say Matt hasn't got that one. Right. So
we'll share that one, Greg.
Yeah, let's have that. Right, so there we go. Yeah, what happened? You had the ball a lot of the time there, didn't you? 42
Yeah, we just ran it. We just ran it. It was a dull ball off ground game, and we just ran and ran and ran. So we kept the ball, wound the clock down, 6 rushing touchdowns, team record. Boom. That was it.
Nice. And no injuries? Didn't manage to not pick up any injuries as well?
Yeah, we got more injuries.
Oh, you did you? Any big ones?
I can't remember. Let's go and have a look. No, we just got a B. We just got a B on a special teamer. Nothing to write home about.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah. No. So we didn't get any injuries. I lied.
Right, okay. No, good, solid. That's a solid Monday Night Football game, that is. Completely one-sided. And the poor Aztecs getting absolutely hoofed by the Spartans again. Right. Anything else on that one before we move on to race to first?
Yeah.
Right.
Move on.
So
I want to know how many points that was that way.
Okay. Right. So we had the race to first. So I think we had the Warriors were. I can't remember if they were actually.
Great punt off.
What was the preview? So what were they sitting? So had they actually won any games? Right. Yep. So this was the first win of the season for the Warriors. So 13-10. And the most important stat from this one was punts. Oh, it's a tie at 6 apiece.
6-all.
6-all on the punts. Oh, wow. 8 and 7. I was pretty close. I thought it'd be an even one.
I got
Might be a
6.
turnover. Yeah, but you're way out on the other one, weren't you? Only 2 punts from the Stingrays. You were hoping for a lot of turnovers by the looks
Yeah.
of it.
So I was 4 out in total. You were 3 out. I think we've got to give that one to Greg.
Awesome.
Well,
Look at that, eight fumbles and 6 recoveries.
Nowhere near. Nobody deserves anything for that. It's pathetic.
I
See those
think
fumbles?
I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah, 8 fumbles but 6 recovered. So you were kind of right with the how many they would drop. They just kept picking it up, unfortunately for you, Jez.
Yeah.
But yeah, what can you say
There it
about a
goes.
game like this?
Not quite the Sonics level this week, but we'll maybe have a quick look at that.
Yeah.
The thing I'll say is the Warriors should be beating them by a lot more than that. Based on the number of seasons that Rich has been rebuilding. And then, Ken's in his first season rebuilding and it's that close. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Warriors.
Yeah. What's gone wrong there is my question.
What's he been picking up? Because he's rebuilding mainly through the draft, right? So that's always a little bit of a slow burner. And then if we have a little look at,
Usually goes best player according to his form, doesn't he?
yeah, I mean, if you look at that, he's got this JB Hood. He picked up season 36. George Martin. Are there many players there that you think actually they're the ones that are going to put points on the board for me? CB,
Is it a case where
defense.
Is it a case where you perhaps shouldn't be going best player available? You should be actually picking to actually sort your team out, and then you go best player available when you've actually got a team. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's had a lot of top 3 picks over the last 3, maybe 4 seasons.
I'm a bit surprised because Rich obviously, gave me a lot of close games when the Stampede were actually winning balls. A lot of close games, a lot of conference games against him. I'm surprised it's took him this long and it's still not anywhere near by the looks of it.
Maybe they're just not coaching.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We all know sometimes you can pump as many CPs as you like into a player, and sometimes they just will not pop.
Yeah, slow burn here, but yeah, I agree. It's not much going on here that you're thinking, Warriors are turning a corner. But they managed to pick up that first win in the race to first, so that should, I guess, put them top of the pops.
Yeah.
So that does a nice little job for him there. He's going to get a nice coaching bump. There are only two teams now that can qualify for it. Spitfires and Nighthawks.
Where's your win plan for, Greg?
Well, to be quite honest, my win was I went for it this week. I went for it in week 6.
You weren't far off.
Yeah, wasn't far off at all. So was it 2 points, was it, or 3 points?
2 points, yeah.
19-17. So yeah, game planned for it, trying to, put the best that I've got in there at the moment. But didn't quite manage it. Can't remember how it went. I felt I think there was like a weird turnover or something at some point where I thought, oh well, that's probably blown it, but still managed to get that. Scored two touchdowns, I think, in this game. It's like that's unheard of. I think that's the first 2 touchdowns this season. So yeah, I got the return fixture, but it's at their place. Can't see us picking anything up there, and I think the rest of the schedule is pretty. It's not as soft as I'd like it. Let's put it that way. So yeah, I did try, but no cigar. Right, so
Spartans week 10.
yeah, absolutely. We'll still negotiate that win, right? We'll have another chat. See how the rest of the
I think
season
it's a
goes with
gimme,
him.
that is. I think that's a gimme. I think Jess can get a good draft pick out of that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And you don't want me to gear my players up for that injury special just to take you into the playoffs, Jess. So rest everything that you possibly can is my word of advice. Right, let's move on to the games that should be reasonably exciting. And this for me is the most exciting game of the week 6 that we're going to cover off, because this was the game.
Ooh, yes.
Where
what happened?
We knew
What happened?
Steve was going to be putting in his special teams play. And oh my God, what a doozy it was.
Oh God.
What an absolute doozy.
Was it that bad?
Yeah.
Was it a no-yard return?
It was this one, wasn't it? Oh,
yeah,
tell
it was
me
this game.
It was this game, wasn't it?
Definitely this game.
Where did
Steve had called
Where
it.
did he put it?
Preview.
I think it.
Preview. It's in the
think,
preview.
Is it in the preview? Yeah. He's brilliant. Right. Okay. So somewhere he did write what it was, and I think it may have been on the redaction thing last time. But let's see if we can find it in the play-by-play, because we thought, force a safe catch or something like that, something really unspectacular. But it was even worse than that.
There it is.
Where
Pulled
is
off
it?
a special play.
Where was it?
Wow, Sanders Generals team's Coach Williams, 0-yard return. Is it up the top there? It's at the top.
At the top.
Yeah. It's right there. Stop scrolling. Stop scrolling. It's right there.
Right.
Wow. Sanders Generals team's Coach Williams pulled off a special play. 0-yard return.
Oh, dearie me. Was that the one? I thought it was even worse than that. But no.
How does it get worse than a 0-yard return?
I thought it was something. I thought I saw something, and maybe I just, hopefully I'm not dreaming about these things, because this would be really bizarre if I am. I thought it was a blocked punt or a blocked field goal, but then the special play was stopping the person returning the blocked punt or thing for but yeah, maybe that was Steve coming up with like an even worse scenario than what we came up with just it being forcing a free catch. But yeah, wow.
Yeah,
You just
based on his punt returns, he saved himself on 13.3 yards on the rest of the other return.
Yeah, I mean, it pinned them on their 4-yard line, which gives you a chance of a quick turnover, because quarterbacks shit themselves when they're that close to their own end zone, and then you get a cramped punt. There you go, punt is cramped, but he's still got 46 yards for a cramped punt. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think this is the right Dow this time as well, isn't it?
It is. That's the good one. Yeah, that's the one that got drafted last September.
Was this his elite? Was this his elite punter?
I can't remember. Was he elite? I can't remember.
That's why he got 46 yards on a cramp.
46 yards. Yeah. So all in all, eventually, Generals managed to get a field goal out of it. You could argue.
Yeah.
But anyway,
You want a
Yeah.
punt return or a kick return touchdown. That's what you want.
that's what you want.
Or a
That's
fumble.
every
Or,
time.
or the other team to fumble it
Mm.
in the red zone.
Yeah, or blocking a last-minute field goal or something like that is what you're hoping for, isn't it?
It's not very special.
No, and it didn't help with the scoreline either. So the Heroes managed to take this one 29-22. How did that look compared
Minty,
to our results?
Minty run riot again.
Oh,
Lost it.
have
It's
to
disappeared.
Doing Minty.
refresh that one.
Yeah, Minty 200. Yeah, this is the one stat I wrote down. Here you go. Minty 251 yards, 2 TDs. There you go. That's my 2 minutes of research before I came on.
Averaging 28 yards a catch.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, isn't it? He's old as well, isn't he? Isn't he about age 8 or something?
No, he's not that old.
I thought he was. I thought he was old.
No, he's 5 or something, is he?
No, I thought he was older than that.
He's
Oh,
7.
7.
7.
Yeah,
Yeah, see?
you were
Yeah.
closer.
And he's not even got peripheral vision.
Not even got peripheral vision. He's got super home street there. That's an extra level.
Well, not
Eyeless.
in that game. It wasn't. That would have
Oh,
been
they were away,
minus.
weren't they?
That would have been -1 level. So
He's had some
Nah,
career,
that's
though.
all.
Third best all-time receiving record.
yeah,
Yeah.
Pretty decent.
I would
he definitely
suggest he'll
knows how to
probably end
catch
up.
it. He'll end up where?
I think he'll end up number 1. He's probably got at least another 2-3 seasons based on what's happening.
Depends how he ages, isn't it?
I bet he's still getting coached.
Yeah, but at that age, you can easily get a -4. And if it takes you from 19 to 15, that's a massive difference.
Yeah, but you ain't going to stick another 4 levels back on again during the season. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's your main player. Your main player, you can get up to age 10 if you coach him all the time.
But then that might be why the rookies aren't coaching up.
Very true.
More good
There we go.
news. Matt was a mile off with that one.
That was a lot closer than I thought it would be, actually.
I was closest, wasn't I?
Well, you got the right team. I didn't get the right team. And yet you had a 3-pointer. So closest.
Yeah.
Not in overtime, though.
I was going to say, hold on a minute, you surely get points deducted because you thought it was a draw until overtime.
Let's not go into semantics, Matt. Come on.
That was the one week he didn't actually sit on the fence for that game. So, yeah. But yeah, anything else want to cover off on that one?
This is a very good win for the Heroes.
Yeah.
Was really good.
That's took them much locked up at number 1 seed now. I can't see them losing there the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Unless they pick up some injuries.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, nice.
All it would take would be a B&E on Do or Minty, and then
yeah,
that's
what, yeah,
different story.
6-0, 3-3, 4 games left, 3-0. I mean, they could put a C next to his name already, couldn't they? Pretty much.
Yeah, you reckon?
Right. Again, the Magpies are unbeaten as well, so yeah.
Yeah, and 2-4. Oh, shocking. CFC. Oh my days. Even this one, 5-1. Tigers 5-1 and Kings 2-4. Oh dearie me. It's a stroll.
It's only the West that is any competition for the division.
Yeah. Right, so let's head to the other side of the pond. So MFC, so we had Redcoats and Outlaws. Oh, this was the one you sat on the fence for.
I didn't sit on the fence. I called a result. I thought it was going to
called a
be
result.
27-all.
Right. Well, what was
You
it?
won a
I
million
can't remember.
That's what I thought.
A 3-point win.
It's a
Yeah.
3-pointer.
It was close.
God, look at that
It was
fourth
really
quarter.
close. It was very close.
43 points in the last quarter. Oh my days. What a finish.
That was nuts. One for the purists, that one. One for the neutrals.
Yeah. Q1, 34 points. Q2 and Q3, they went to sleep, and then it was all on for Q4. Crazy. Tied on
Hell of a
turnovers
game.
as well.
Hell of a game, this one.
Redcoats had a chance as well because they got the ball back, but then they fumbled it. So,
What, in the 59th minute?
yeah. They had a chance.
There were
Crazy.
3 touchdowns in the last 3 minutes, weren't there?
Yeah. No. They had a
Yeah,
slight chance.
57, 58, 59. How many scores was that? So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 7 scores in the last 9 minutes.
James was grateful that he wasn't left ruining that missed 18-yard field goal.
In the 11th minute. There's definitely a lot of things happened since that. I agree, but but yeah.
But in close games, you look back on things like that when you sort of think, we missed a bloody 18-yard field goal. Thankfully, for him, it didn't matter, but...
Yeah, that is crazy. So, a nice punt block to kick it off. See that there, that would have been a much better special play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, blimey. 6 scores in the last 9 minutes. That has got to be some game to watch.
Yeah, went off.
As a-
Look at
as a-
the discrepancy in first downs as well.
Wow.
Outlaws had all the ball, all the possession, all the first downs.
Well, look at how many catches the tight end had. 21 catches. It's ridiculous. 21
Yeah.
catches.
But he plays to that. His tight ends are always in the game ruin as well. They're always a massive part of his game plan.
Show me the money. Yeah. Well, it looks like Brad enjoyed it. I think it's managed to blank out motherfucker at the beginning of that of that comment. Always like those ones where you kind of look at a comment that a coach has put in there, and you think to yourself, yeah, they put that in straight after watching this game. Yeah. They didn't throw the laptop out the window and then come back to it a couple of hours later after they cooled down a bit. They put that one straight in. After watching that.
I love that when coaches comment straight away, especially after they've lost a tight game that they thought they should have won. Comments are brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially after one of those last minute streaks or something like that as well. And you're just like, oh, this cannot be happening. Yeah, lovely.
Good game though. Well played, chaps.
Yeah. Brad was number 1 defense going in. It might not be the number 1 defense going into this week, I guess. Right. So good game, fantastic. Who are we giving that one to? I had it by 4. You had it by 11. But definitely a higher scoring game than we expected.
I'll take that. I had more points than both of you.
Fair enough. But yeah, I think that's the thing. I was expecting to see more yards on the ground from the Redcoats, but it didn't seem to happen. It seemed to be they were a lot more passing than expected. Anyway, we shall move on because we've got a lot to cover for week 7. So here we are, finally, week 7. Hopefully everyone's going to get the game plan in, right?
I've still not done mine yet.
You still haven't done it. Oh, disgraceful. Disgraceful.
Can we just establish that despite what some people are saying on sound bites, it's not possible to have an invalid game plan after week 1. So if you want to put a game plan in that you want to put in, then you've got to do that by Friday morning, irrespective of when the game's on. But even if you don't touch your game plan now, it's still valid.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's definitely a difference between a valid game plan and a bad game plan. Yeah. So bad game plan a lot of the time is when you've left the same game plan in for the previous team, and then you play a team that plays completely differently, and that becomes a bad game plan, not an invalid
You can still write a game plan for this game, and it could still be a bad game plan because you might just be shit at writing game plans, or you might just get it wrong that week. So, yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm glad we clarified that one as well.
As I do on a regular basis.
Absolutely. Yeah. And as long as you got that game plan in before that deadline, that's good.
Do we want to talk about deadlines now?
Oh, yeah, why not? Should we talk about deadlines now? Yeah. Yeah.
We mentioned the mid-season break. It seemed a bit impromptu. It didn't seem to be any kind of notice about it. It kind of dropped in. I think someone noticed it and mentioned that they noticed it in the sound bites, and then everyone kind of checked and thought, "Oh yeah, there's not a game for 3 weeks. What's that about?" Because there's normally the GMs are normally pretty good at putting some sort of editorial up to explain any significant changes in the schedule, but there didn't seem to be anything this time, so the schedule just changed.
And there's no rugby being played at the moment either, is it?
Don't believe so. So yeah. So hopefully everything's okay and it's not too much of an emergency or anything. But it did make me laugh because these were the sort of things, right? When I started playing this game, these things would like grind my gears. Be like, oh crap, I'm losing momentum now. You know, oh, this is driving me mad. I want to get the next game done. I want to get the next game done. Whereas now I look at it, I'm just like, oh well, I'll see you in 3 weeks. But yeah, it can be frustrating, and the thing that made me laugh is that actually the first thing that wasn't talked about was how long it was between the next one. Somebody came on there and said, nobody told me the next deadline would be a Thursday, and it's like,
Yeah.
but it isn't. It's a Friday, but then the next one's a Thursday, and the next one's a Wednesday or something like that. And I was just like,
Yeah, there were 2 weeks, consecutive weeks where there were 6-day deadlines or something like that.
Yeah. So, and it was the wrong question to ask because RJ actually came back and said, no, the next deadline is a Friday. But nobody had said, oh, is there a reason why that next Friday deadline is 3 weeks down the line? It was just like, the next deadline's a Thursday. And he came back and he said, no, it isn't. It's a Friday. So we obviously had an opportunity. And unfortunately, somebody asked the wrong question. And then it all got sorted out. And Fridays are back on, but it was 3 weeks down the road for the next one. But yeah, I wonder how many coaches find it like it grinds their gears over the other end of just like, okay, I'll see you in 3 weeks.
Well, when there's a break like this, a long break, it's even more. So it's a bit frustrating and what have you. But I'm a bit like you these days, and I was a bit like you previously when it used to really wind me up. I've managed my expectations in this game much better now. But it's even more frustrating for coaches if you're off the back of a bad game or a bad result or some really shit coaching, because you've then got to sit on that for 3 weeks, and it's like, oh, this game's shit, fucking hell. And it does get to you. I get it completely. It does get to you, because if you do, if you have shit coaching or a shit game 1 week, then you've got a week to try and turn it over. If you've got to sit on that for 3 weeks, it's get that it's a bit soul destroying.
I think it's weird. A lot of online games, the turnover is a lot quicker than a week anyway. Some of them are like 48 hours or 24 hours or whatever. Yeah, and then there's also the Amazon culture around, everybody expects everything same day or next day, or expect everything to be on time nowadays. Whereas if you were used to 3 channels when you grew up, you don't really give a monkeys.
Yeah. Yeah, and you had to get up and off your seat to go and change it, right?
Aye, no video recorders or anything like that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember when they launched Channel 4. That was mega, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then they launched Channel 5, but the only thing on Channel 5 was soft porn. It was just basically, when it first launched, it was just a soft porn channel.
If you say so,
Or was it romantic movies? I think that's what they call them.
Shaking the snow globe. Shaking the snow globe. But yeah, I don't know if that's the demographic we've got in this game though, because I think there's a lot of new coaches coming who aren't probably have that same experience. But it is funny, and I do think to myself sometimes, like, if at the top of that page where it says week 38, or where it says season 38, week 7, and then it has that date and that time, if it just had that little extra piece that says your game plan needs to be in by that time, instead of this is when we will run the game, that would probably chill a lot of people out as well, because that deadline, as you start to play it a lot more, you then go, oh, actually that's got nothing to do when the game's going to execute. There's nothing going to run at that point in time. But if I want to make sure my game plan's in, I need it in by that time, because anything could happen after that time. It could run on time, it might take a day to run, they might be doing something in the background, they're putting something new in and they want to try it out, whatever it may be they're doing. So after a while you do realise actually that's got nothing to do with when the game's going to run. It's just make sure your shit's together for your team by that point in time, and then we'll see at some point on the other side of the weekend, right? And that may happen at any point in time, and it may take any amount of time for it to run through as well.
I was that, I've been there. I think we've all been there, to be honest. But I definitely was that person that started refreshing the website from 10:01 on Friday morning, and then was just getting RSI through relentless refreshing of the page. And when Bob hadn't turned up by 7 p.m, I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, it's just now it's a case of, I expect the games to be run at some point over the weekend. If they drop Friday evening, bonus. If not, they'll drop at some point Saturday, maybe Sunday, or Monday if they run into difficulties or whatever. But
and the other great thing now that we have is this Discord server, because Charlie has written a bot that works on this server as well. I don't know if you both signed up to it.
Yeah.
So it will tell you, it will send you a message when the
my
bar
phone
goes
tells me
down.
when Bob's turned up.
Yeah, it'll tell you when it's done, and that's great because then you got a timestamp as well. So even if you don't get it at that point in time, you know when it went down, and then it will send you another one to tell you when he's finished. So you don't even have to hang around doing refresh, going, "Oh, is it finished yet? Is it finished yet?" This bot that he's created which is fantastic from my point of view. Is I just see it pop up on my phone. I'm like, okay, games are done. I can go and have a look now. So it's great.
Yeah, very clever and very useful.
Yep. And I don't know if you saw this off season as well. He's put another bot together as well that sends you notifications. Well, it doesn't send you notifications, but it notifies a channel in each of the leagues of the trades that go through, so you can see when they go through and
Oh
what's
no,
happening as
haven't
well.
seen that.
Yeah. So when you go into the trade talk, you'll see the list of all the trades that have gone through. So you can see them going through, and you can sign up to that channel if you want to get notifications about it. Right. So anyway, yeah, let's move back to the games. So, let's move back a whole season. No, let's not do that. Right. Here we go then. So Monday Night Football.
Whiz through these. Here we go.
We have the Warriors and the Tigers. Monday Night Football. This is an interesting one actually, because this was because the Tigers finished in 7th position for draft picks last season, and they're having an absolute tear up this season. 5-1.
4 minute.
With
their 10-star offense.
Aye.
So yeah, they don't know, soft schedule maybe, don't know. But they are 5-1. Warriors picked up their first win, as we saw in week 6. Tigers by 12 seems like a safe spread based on what we've seen so far this season.
Few injuries though for Tigers.
Yeah, and probably a big one because that RB Beauregard, that's their star runner there, isn't it?
Warriors as well got 3 season and F.
I know Combs has been the go-to this season. I'm a season out of date, so it looks like he's got a C. So both RBs in problems.
We think he's going to throw it.
Do you reckon?
Well, if he hasn't got any running backs, then it's difficult to run the ball.
Does he put them on IR?
Good
Because
question.
if they're not on IR, he's going to put them on IR. They're going to play. Not on it.
Beauregard's on IR.
He's on IR. He might have been on IR last time around, though. You never know. Combs still C. He's not got many of them. Well, that RB's the only one, actually. When did he pick that one up? Week 4. Oh no, there's 2. There's 3, aren't there? You got 6 now, Mark. So there we go. We don't like to spend too much time on Monday Night Football. So what do we reckon?
The Tigers will still win.
Yeah.
Based on what we were discussing about the Warriors earlier.
27. Yeah. It was a close one last time. Only a point in it. 10-9. Don't think it'll be that close this time. Let me get some post-its. What are you going for, Matt?
Rich has been slow playing the season. Rich has been slow playing the season and was after the first win incentive, and now he's going to start letting the boys play properly. I don't know, but I can't see it. I'll go 35-10 to the Tigers.
I'm just going to save myself a bit of legwork. 35-10 to the Tigers.
Yeah, 35-10 to the Tigers.
Jez?
I'm going 13-28.
I'm going to go 14. Right.
Boom.
There we go. Right, so we shall move on to race to first. So
On off.
Yeah, punt off. So we've got the Bears, who are strongly positioned in second place in their division with a strong record of 2-4. And then we have the Nighthawks on 0-6. So we are literally looking at one of the teams who will either jump the Warriors and go to the top of the FWI, or strengthen their position on the first overall pick, sorry.
Yeah. I can't see Chris wanting to win. He wants that number 1 pick again, surely. Should be is that the 3rd year in a row he's had the number 1 pick? Gets it this year, is it? He's had a few, hasn't he?
He definitely had it last season. I'm not sure if he managed first overall. No, because that was the Sharks took the first overall, didn't they?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and then Chris picked up the other wide receiver this first overall pick. So yeah, he's racing towards back-to-back first overalls. I mean, this is yeah.
Look at the Bears. They've won 2 games all season, and they've got the number 1 pass offense and the number 1 overall defense.
Yeah. And minus
That's
6
got to
yards
be a
rushing.
Minus 6.
Yeah. Minus 6 yards rushing. So they're playing trips, aren't they? So it is pure pass. I mean, those minus 6 yards are probably just
And to snap fumbles.
Yeah. Their centre is their strongest running back with minus 6 yards. Yeah, so what do you think the Bears will do then? I think they might pass. Do you reckon they might pass? I think they might pass.
I think
I reckon
there's
they
a
might
chance.
pass.
Yeah.
QB draw. That's it. QB draw.
Yeah. So it really does come down to sorry, I got a fly in there, just not reaching for anything.
Go on, Mr. Miyagi.
But yeah, I think the pool for Chris is the first overall pick, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, no question.
So this could be win number 3 on the cards for the Bay Bears. Spread is by a spread of 14.
Baby Bears will win this.
Yeah. Do you
No,
think they did
Nighthawks
on
aren't
purpose?
interested in winning anything.
So they're the Brooklyn Bay Bears. So it's BBB. Yeah. And then you look at his injury list. Do you think he does it on purpose?
That is some symmetry there. I mean, even one of his players has got a BB.
Yeah, he just needs to pick one more B up, and then that'd be perfect, wouldn't it? Old Mathau, if he had a BB and a BB. But yeah.
Very nice. Very nice symmetry, like that.
Right, so let's call this one again. So, Jez, kick us off on this one.
I'm going to go 24-3.
Oh, it's punts.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
punts.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Not punts. Okay.
Not punts.
Not punts.
Maybe the Nighthawks will do 24 punts. Who knows?
In that case, I'm going to go 2-6.
2-6 on the punts. Matt,
Yes.
what are you feeling on the punts?
I'm feeling that Chris is going to do some major chicanery here. So I'm going 1 for the Bears, 12 for the Nighthawks.
Oh, beautiful.
12. Whoa.
Yeah. That's the thing. So yeah.
12 punts at home. That's one for the home fans, isn't it?
Almost feel like going for a shutout, Yeah, let's do that.
Woo.
Yeah, it's either a first down or an interception, right? That's all the way for the Bears. Let's go with that. That's some proper bullshit prediction there. But there we go. All the fun of the fair.
Nice.
Right, let's move to the games that we think matter. We'll start at the top. So we've got the Blues against the light blues of the Sonics. Here we go.
Sonic's result this week was insane.
Right, let's have a little look at that then. They lost to the Cyclones.
Yeah, but have a look at the turnovers.
Holy Jesus wept. Oh my God, 9.
Yeah.
3 interceptions, 9 fumbles. Oh, well, it managed to draw something out of Jason. 9 turnovers.
They won 2 games. The Cyclones won 2 games this season. Is it more?
I think they won 2 because I think they played us. Yeah, 2 and 4.
Oh. That's the most they've won for about 10 seasons, isn't it? I can't remember them winning. I can't remember them winning that many games
since they won the bowl.
And Jason commented, but he made no reference to the turnovers, which is obviously the deciding factor in that game.
Look, when you're only picking up 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Oi, got a 4, 5, and 1. When you're picking up wins, you don't comment on things like that, Jez. You just take it for what it is, which is a big W, right?
But then you leave it as the elephant in the room.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Love it. Womack got MVP, but Sticks kicked us to glory. Oh, super close game.
Well, good win, Jace. Well done, mate.
Absolutely. And
but
apparently,
fucking hell, Bill, I feel for you, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure about awesome sauce for Bill there.
Yeah.
Unless, well, I don't know.
Bill wouldn't have seen that. He wouldn't have read that anyway, because he would have destroyed his screen by then.
Perhaps awesome sauce was what the Sonics had on their gloves.
Yeah, could be no stickum there. It's just
definitely no stickum there.
Vaseline and grease and whatever else you could possibly put on there. That's Teflon coated gloves. Oh dear, yeah, that is a bit of a shocker, and I've missed that one. So, based on our new information that we have there, that the Sonics could possibly win or lose to anybody. What have we got for this one?
That's made a massive difference because 4-2 now against 5-1. It could have been 2, 5, and 1 teams going into this game, right?
Yeah.
And then you would have probably fancied the Sonics, but
yeah, so it's got the Blues by 10, but they're on the road, bitter rivals.
You think Bill's even come back to do his game plan yet?
I have spoken to Bill this week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right, okay, right. Exclusive.
I'm not going to reveal the details or any conversations, but whether or not he has come back to put a game plan in this week is unconfirmed.
Oh, jeez.
So he still hasn't managed to replace his kit from throwing it out the window, then, no?
No, yeah. He hasn't been to Curry's to get a new screen yet.
Right. Okay.
Oh, dear.
So that could be good news for Alex there then. Because let's face it, if they manage to get a win on this one, that's probably going to lock it in, isn't it?
I hope he does. I hope he does get a game plan in, because it could be a really, really good game, this one. Both good teams, both fighting for the division. Could be a banger. So, fingers crossed.
So, what's your feeling on this one then, Jez? Based on the inside trader knowledge that you have about whether Bill does or does not have a game plan in at the moment.
Well, no, I genuinely don't know if he does or does not. So there's not a lot of insider knowledge there. I think I'm going to go with the Sonics. I think the Sonics are going to do this. So I'm going to go 21-24.
Ooh, close one. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say the Sonics going to do this as well. Home field advantage, rivalries all over the shop. That always seems to blow things up a little bit. Do they run? Do they pass? Who knows? Sonics passing team. Right, okay. I'm going to go for a little bit of a 35-21. Okay, Matt, how are you feeling?
Are you going 21 for the Blues as well?
No. I'm thinking. I want to predict the Blues winning, but I can't. I don't know.
Do it.
13-10 to the Blues.
13-10 to the Blues.
That means I get a point if the Blues win. So I'm laughing.
Oh, you're making up the point scoring system now, are you?
You seem to on the last lot.
Yeah, he talks about it all season. We just humour him, Jez, and then we just scrub some numbers on the board at the end of the season and see what happens. Right, okay, so, Matt, here we go. You've been waiting for this one.
Yes.
How's
Oh,
it?
no,
How's it?
Matt.
Revenge game.
You've had 3 weeks to plan for this one now.
Yeah, I still haven't done it. I didn't even look at it.
3 weeks to plan for this
I couldn't
game of the
even tell
season.
you what the spread is. I've not even looked at it.
Because you win this one, you go top of the division.
I
And
do.
sitting in prime spot with the general Sharks and Islanders left to play. He's key gamed it. It's gonna kick in, or it should do if it works. It should kick in, so you're gonna get some key gamers.
Is this like rivalries? It doesn't kick in on arrival or something.
Yeah, yeah. It kicks in, but it also kicks in for the Avalanche because you're a bit of rivals or something like that. So you're actually doing more for them than you're doing for yourself, or something like that, probably. I haven't looked at key game for ages actually to work out exactly what it does.
Come on in, Coops. Preview this one. What's going to happen?
Hopefully, we're going to destroy them, but I can't see it. I see it being I suspect it will be a 3-point game, and my kicker's going to get his redemption.
You've got no injuries at all.
Yeah, I know, it's great, isn't it?
And they've got and they've got both their running backs injured.
I know. So what's Johnny going to do? I can't think. Then again, he destroyed us with his passing offense last game. So
it's short zone though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always feel slightly more confident against the short zone pass. Whereas with a deep zone, I'm always like, this could just flip like that with a 80-yard breakaway. So
that's the thing. Actually, I'd rather play against the deep zone because I know my corners are good enough to the deep zone. Near enough.
Are they?
I don't know.
They though?
Where's the short zone? You got to watch out for tight ends and death by 1,000 cuts, and you don't force any incompletions. You good.
But let's put it this way: if you've got a passing team against the running team, run always wins, right? So there you go. As long as you can run it, you'll be fine.
I ain't decided what I'm doing yet.
God dear. And you paid all that
I might
money.
let
You paid all that
I
money
might
for
let
those
Watson.
DTs.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I know. But I'm sure I'll need him in the third game because there's going to be a third game by the looks of the way they shape. It's going to be. Those are going to see Outlaws again. I would suspect in the playoffs at some point.
Oh, he got both those running back injuries in the last 2 weeks as well.
Yeah, I bet Hill plays there.
One last week, 1 week before. No, he's on IR.
Yeah, he's on IR at the moment, but I bet Hill plays. I've seen
On
Johnny take
a
him
D,
off.
30%
I
off.
bet let's put it like this. I'm assuming Hill's playing.
You reckon?
Yeah. I can't see him not playing.
I can't see him being effective with 30% off. He ran for less than 500 yards last year.
Yeah, but if he thinks that Matt's just going to concentrate on the pass and his game plan, then even at 30% off, he might be thinking, do you know what? If his game plan for the pass, I might get a little bit of a little sniff on the run game, maybe.
He might run 28 bootlegs.
But then also fully understanding that you traded in 220 plus DTs for 5 Jaffa cakes and a cream cracker.
You keep saying why does anybody try and run against me? So
Well, maybe that's a mind game, though.
I reckon he's setting me up for it.
Yeah.
Mate, I reckon your DTs can handle any running back that's got a 30% reduction on their level.
To be honest, if my DTs
let alone
can't
one that's
handle
past his best.
my
Because
DT should be able to handle any running
best.
back. Any running back should be able to handle.
Oh, big talk.
It should. Right. So, by how much this week are you going to piss on Johnny's chips?
I think we'll win by 3.
Okay, now that's not very convincing, is it?
No, that's how tight I think it'll be. It'll be 3
High
points.
score, low score? High score, low score?
I think it'll be high.
Right, I'll lead the way here.
Go on, Jez.
I'm going 28-45.
Okay.
You're confident. You're confident. Wish I was that confident.
I think those injuries are going to be the difference.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 27-30.
27-30. Right. Okay. So none of us think Johnny's going to win this. I think this is going to be a turning point for the Stampede this season. Johnny's sitting at home now going, yeah, just you wait, got a special weapon ready to come out.
He's got his OBs to put back on the team, remember? He missed them out in week 1.
Yeah. Look, Johnny, if you're available next week, get you on the redaction and then we can see if we can get you and Matt to talk about this game, whichever way it goes.
Yeah, come on, Johnny.
I can wait until the result. I'll see if it feels like it might be one you want to come to, and then we can have a little talk. Right. Not that I'd do that just because you brought a certain someone on to talk about the game that I lost to them and everything like that. So, but we'll see what happens.
I honestly expect to play them again in the playoffs.
Absolutely, yeah, the most important game of the season. Right. Okay. So we have Generals and Barbarians, and we picked this one because
almost a wild card decider, isn't it?
Genuinely, did we? Right. Okay. So let's have a look at their playoff spots on CFC side of things. So that is the bizarre thing that teams sitting at 3-3 at the moment are.
They're after the second wildcard spot.
After the second spot. Yeah.
So we've got the Generals, Barbarians, and Anacondas. We know Dave's got injury crisis at Anacondas. Possibly
They've
even
got a brutal schedule. Anacondas have got a brutal schedule.
And then so we've got the Generals. What's their run-ins? They've got the Heroes out the way. Oh, they've got to go to their Heroes in week 9 as well. They got the Stampede, and then Warriors, maybe a gimme there.
Yeah, I still think that blooming game against the Generals is a blooming banana scheme. Hate playing away.
Yeah. But then Barbarians' schedule doesn't look that great either because they've got the Avalanche, they've got the Tigers, who are, not entirely sure how strong they are, but their record's good, and the Stallions.
Yeah, but
as
it's
well.
week 10. I suspect they'll be resting up by that point.
You reckon?
You see, Anaconda's got another E this week.
Did they?
Did they? Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Oh, dear
When you see this week though, you mean like 3 weeks ago?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Last game.
Oh, if
More
only
specific.
if only in that 3-week window they just ran the injury recoveries each week instead. Oh, if only.
Oh dear.
We would have put a different score on that previous game. Right.
Yeah,
So,
big game this. Generals, Barbs. Whoever wins is in pole position for that second wildcard spot.
Yeah, if the Barbarians lose this one, surely that is the end of this cycle for this team. And what does Rich do next? Let me just clear these out.
Especially as he's probably got. I don't think he's got many picks, has he?
Don't think so. Jumping all over the place, but that's okay. Let's have a little look. Rankings wise, yeah, sort of evens itself out.
No injuries for the Generals.
Generals like to blitz on third down.
Injuries not looking too bad for the Barbarians. Generals by 6, but the Barbarians are at home. Got absolutely
It's the
annihilated.
defense that's letting the ball go. Defense is letting them down, isn't it? 29th ranked defense. Must be. Or they just played some tough teams.
I think they've had, excuse me, I think they've had tight. So they lost to the Scorpions, who haven't been great this season. They picked up that win against the Sun Devils, the Mariners.
Destroyed by the Heroes.
That's not a strong result against the Stallions.
Yeah.
So yeah. Right, I'll lead off on this one because I've bottled it so far. I'm going to say that the Generals are going to do the business against this, but it'll be a close one. Let's go 35-day one. Which one of you wants
I'm
to?
going to go.
Yeah.
I'll go. 40 to the Generals, 10 to the Barbarians. Very rich.
Ouch.
I think it's going to be destroying.
Destroyed.
24-21 in overtime.
So we have to get an overtime one in somewhere, didn't he? Yeah. You're going to be
Gonna
right
happen.
1 week. You're going to be right 1 week, mate. 1 week. The
Can you imagine?
5 seasons.
I'll nail that. 24-21. Here we go.
Right, okay. So unfortunately, none of us backing the Barbarians on that one, even though we're at home. Prove us wrong, Rich. Prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
What do we know?
We don't know nothing. We don't know nothing.
I think we've proven that quite comprehensively over the course of the season so far.
Absolutely.
So, Rich, you've really got nothing to worry about on that one, mate.
Yeah, this is definitely not the place for experts to come and try and, glean more knowledge of the game. as we give our 2 cents on what's going to happen in the Atlantic each week. Right, that was a lot of games we got through there. The only other thing we were going to have a quick chat about was the flight lounge opening again in the Atlantic airlock. These were names we had from last season. We're going to keep throwing Conrad in there until he probably loses a game in the B. I have no idea if Daniel B or Max are doing well at the moment. So they were both in the Continental. Should we have a little look?
Who used to be in the Atlantic, but it's in a different division now? Because they're usually good prospects for coming back. That's what happened last year, wasn't it? So,
it was, yeah.
Is there any names that have been in the Atlantic before that?
Just have a quick look here. So Daniel is with the Eagles, and they won the Continental Bowl in season 36. He made the bowl last season as well, by the looks of it. And he's 6-0 again. So here's a strong potential winning record candidate. And then, what was the other one? Max, wasn't it? Yep, so he's
Warnberg, yeah, Houston
5-1.
Bullets. Doing well again.
Doing well, yeah, but not quite made it to that conference game yet. Or hasn't made it past that conference game yet. So, but you know, Eagles dominating, so tough challenge there. Oh, look at Dan. You know, doing it in 2 places. That's just greedy. 6-0, and then 6-0 in the Atlantic as well. Greedy boy, greedy boy. So yeah, back to your question, Matt. I don't know. Do we
Who's
have
in the
anyone?
Empire? Well, nobody's going to move from the Delta, are they? Unless they suddenly bring back affinity.
Yeah. So who we got? So there's Mark Foster, Romford Rough Rangers. There's Todd in which one's?
Well, Todd's blown
I
out.
just noticed Ken's still got the Gamblers.
He's caretaking the Gamblers. He's got the little asterisks.
Is that the new affinity?
Well, no, there's a few
Caretaker.
caretakers in there, so there's obviously not the coaches to take over in the Empire, because there's a few other caretakers in there as well. But because he had the Gamblers, he's carrying on, but only on a caretaker basis.
That means the affinity's coming back.
So it's Rod Badger at the Russians. I think he had a stint or 2 in the Atlantic. I doubt he'd come back.
No, I don't even remember him in the Atlantic. Was he in the Atlantic?
Pretty sure he was, wasn't he? Didn't he go to the Outlaws for a little while?
If he did, he didn't last long, because I don't even remember him in the Atlantic.
Okay.
What about Harry Sween? I'm sure he used to be. He'd been and gone, and I'm sure he'd won a couple of bowls before.
Yeah, he's only just come back into the Atlantic, into the Empire.
Yeah,
this
he's
year.
come back to his old team as well, by the looks of it. So
yeah.
There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Probably happy where he is for the time being. So, yeah.
But there's a few other contenders there of teams that are doing well. Colin Alcock's doing well at the Claymores this year.
Isn't he a new coach, though?
No, Colin's not. No, he's not a new coach.
Mm.
Been around a bit. Had's doing well.
Depends who wants to come up, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. Arno's bringing the Seahawks out of a rebuild. They're doing well.
Yeah. So Arno's been there before, hasn't he?
No, that's the wrong Arno.
Is it a different
Arno? Arno Munch before the was it
Ah,
there?
yeah.
Was.
No, and
And there's a few others, but like you say, it depends on who is interested in going to the Atlantic on the basis that they would have to leave their team in their current league. So some would want to do that and be okay with doing that, and others wouldn't. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of parameters to it, isn't there? A lot of moving parts.
There is, yeah. And
And if the comments on some of the games or anything to go by, there could be a few bases come up in the Atlantic at the end of the season.
So who are you basing that off of then? Who we adding? Who's looking to go?
Who are we adding in?
Who do you think's looking to go then?
Who's looking at
based on
going?
comments?
Well, based on the game summary from last week on the Anacondas and Avalanche, neither Johnny or Dave seem particularly happy at the moment.
Yeah.
Which might be a temporary thing, and they might get their mojo back. I mean, Dave, you can understand because he's been absolutely ravaged by injuries this year, which just killed his season.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in a brutal division anyway, but he started really well. I think he was 3-0. He's now 3-3, and staring down the barrel with half a team left. So that's completely soul destroying, and it sounds like he's super pissed off with it. Johnny said in the same game that he's not enjoying the game at the moment either. And there may be one or two others, so you never know.
Yeah, it's funny because I mean, Johnny's come into a team that was doing well anyway, and sometimes it does make me wonder whether that feels like it's not that kind of that challenge that somebody feels like they want, because I think Simon keeps referring to it as his team. I think other people still think he is in this league as well, with comments that they've made. So again, when you get that tag, you think, nah, he's been here for a fair few seasons now, so you got to say that he's put his stamp on the team. But again, it's that kind of, here's a different mindset you got to get into to try and say, well, my challenge is to maintain as opposed to build something new. It is a different and harder challenge to do.
And he's done it the hard way this season, because Matt's loaded up this season on with some really great trades, irrespective of the conversation around that. Nothing, nothing against Matt for trading those players in. He did what he did. And you could see in some of the comments that pissed Johnny off. He's done brilliantly. He's 6-0. He beat the Stampede in their first game. Got the away game coming up now. But if you're not enjoying it when you're 6-0, then you're never going to enjoy it, really, are you?
I mean, the other thing is Johnny's probably if you were picking any coach to go up to the GFL, at the moment he must be much top of the list based on recent results.
Yeah, but I mean, based on other places where on because the Continental used the Discord server quite a bit, he does make comments about going back because he enjoyed his time there. He enjoyed the people he was playing the game with there. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens, right?
We'll see. I think coaches go through waves through a season, don't you? Sometimes it's just not your season, and particularly if injuries kill your season, that happens in GFL like it happens in the NFL. some NFL teams are Super Bowl contenders until they get 3 or 4 ACLs to key players, and you've got, before you know it, you've got half a defense missing or something, and that derails your season. So it's realistic in that respect, and we want the game to be realistic. It's still going to piss you off if some of your key players are out injured, and that's the reason why you're losing games. So
yeah, absolutely.
you can still be pissed off. This game's only good if it stirs some sort of emotion in you. If it's not making you excited or pissed off, then if it's making you meh, then that's when you should leave. If it's stirring emotion in you, then it's still doing something, and
Yeah.
that emotion isn't always a good emotion, because it swings both ways.
Yeah, and your comment there about if you're going 6-0 all the time and you're not enjoying it, then what else? But I mean, the Avalanche are the Bills for us in the Atlantic at the moment, right? Because they have made the bowl consecutively now. How many seasons?
3 or 4, is it?
Yeah,
4.
I mean that's 4
Or
seasons on the
4.
bounce. They've made that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they've lost it each time. So even if you are going 10-0 each time and you're losing that one game that you think to yourself, that's the one that really matters, that's still as big a kick in the nuts as probably going 5-5. I don't know.
I think he's worse. I think he's
Oh,
worse.
yeah.
And I'll tell you why, because when I was coaching American football, we went 12-0 throughout the regular season. Got through the quarterfinal, got through the semi-final of the British Championships, and lost in the final. And that's probably the best team I've ever coached. But because we lost that game, that's the one that just eats at me.
Yeah.
We won it the year before and won it the year after, but that team was probably the best team we had, and we didn't win the championship that year after going unbeaten. And it still ranks at me 8 years later. So.
Yeah. And being a Giants
Hey,
fan,
Coops.
I really feel for Patriots fan in that season as well.
Yeah, but that was, I mean, that Patriots team was a bloody good team.
Yeah, you just couldn't beat Manning when it mattered. Anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole. Okay, so any contenders? So we think Johnny, he's a good contender to go up if there's any space, but would he want to? Maybe not. Jez,
James,
does the
Maybe Dan.
does the GFL call you, Jez?
GFL's never called me.
If they called you, would you be, yeah, get me the hell out?
I'd think about it for sure, but I'm not. It's not in my hands, so there's no point looking at that or playing for that or not playing for that. It's something that happens. If the GMs came to me and offered me the chance to do that, I'd seriously think about it.
Mm-hmm.
but would you want to win a bowl first before you moved up?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
You want to finish the story before you move up, surely.
Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be the nice way to do it. I think the right way to do it. But yeah, we'll see. I think there's a handful of contenders in there. You look at what Dan's doing with the Razors.
Colin,
Oops,
maybe.
what about you? What about you? If you got the call, if you got the nod,
Turned it down 3 times.
turn it down
over the
3
years.
times. Oh,
Yeah.
they don't pay you enough.
Absolutely no interest in going to the GFL. It's not a league for me.
They don't pay you enough.
Trade in it. There's no trade in it. It doesn't seem fun to me. Seems too much like college almost.
Oh.
But I enjoy the trading, so
Mm.
wouldn't ever move up.
Yeah.
Unless I was able to keep the Atlantic team. The only way I'd even consider it,
And that's the
which is
thing.
unlikely.
We mentioned about, no Delta coaches would move because the affinity team thing. And for me, I think the whole thing about affinity teams coming and going was on the basis that there is promotion in this game now. Yeah, there are 3 tiers in this game. And so the affinity team thing, it might not even be the problem, because actually, you know, you're an affinity coach, Jez, Dan's an affinity coach, people play the game they want to play, how they want to play it, right? They'll get involved in the league when they can, when they have the space to do that. We saw that from LJE as well, where he would, he's, got the avenue going and things like that. So affinity teams probably isn't the problem. The problem, I think, for the Atlantic is it's a passing through point for coaches if they want to go to the GFL. So from my perspective, it's kind of like, well, if they are, we're always told there's no struggle to get rid of teams or get new coaches in or anything, and that's fine. But if there is the opportunity to bring affinities back, but actually, if there's a spot in the GFL, don't just come to the Atlantic and say, who are we going to move from there? Because actually, that is causing the same problem that the B to the E were experiencing from coaches going up to the A in the GFL, where they lose some people who could be
It's making it
contributing,
more
right?
transitional, isn't it?
Yeah. So you do get, I think you get a lot more nuking in the Atlantic because some coaches come in and go, well, I'm going to burn this down, win a couple of bowls, bang, I'll get the invite. Yeah. So it can feel like, well, there's no point me investing fully in this because I'm just passing through. Yeah. But if that isn't the case, and you just say, look, here's an affinity team in the Atlantic, Matt, have a team in the Atlantic and the GFL.
Although there's not many spaces that come available in the GFL, is there? They don't fly around very readily.
No, not that often. But when it happens, this is the only pool that they will look at to take them through. Yeah. And that's just another one of those things where actually you're always like, well, maybe people are just waiting for the call. Because I don't know whether having an affinity team that makes, because this is a slow moving game, right? You get 2 seasons every year. So when you make decisions about whether you're doing things with a team or not with a team, it takes a long time to do it. So whether having that affinity team helps to kind of go, oh, well, if I'm not having a great time over here, but I can have a great time over here, maybe that softens the blow a little bit. And, I think we've seen that in the GFL with AFC West, every single coach in that division who get their asses handed to them by Dave Russell every season have got an affinity team because it's just soul destroying. Speaking from experience. So yeah. Any thoughts on that?
I would actually take Mr. Russell on, but I'm not moving this away from a Stampede.
Yeah.
If you want to give me a team in the GFL, I'd take his division. I'd even take him on in his division. I think.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if other people have got thoughts on it because obviously affinity teams.
Or if Dave wants to come to the Atlantic, and come and play in my division.
Challenge him to an interleague game, an interleague special.
Oh, don't even start us on about interleague team. That was mentioned years ago. That was.
That'd be beautiful, wouldn't it? I wonder whatever happened to that sandpit league that they had. If you could put like like the teams from multiple leagues into that sandpit league and just have them play each other. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
I don't want. If we're going to go like that, give me the season 16 Stampede.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
17.
I
Whatever
mean,
season we are.
let's touch on the thing that we're not going to see anymore, is because we were asking the question, you know, where are the Pro Bowls, and then we saw that there's there's the article that got posted that I completely missed as well, that basically said we're not running it anymore. You say they're rubbish, you say there's nothing. It's all
Where
about,
was
you know,
this?
it's all about, you know, the players being nominated. So they're not going to run the Pro Bowls at all anymore. They're not going to invest
Oh, I
time
didn't
and
see
effort
that.
into it.
Was there an
Where
article
was
about
this
that?
article?
Did you
Where
miss
was
it as
this?
well? You've only
I
had
haven't seen
3 weeks
anything.
to catch up on stuff. 3 weeks you've had to catch up on it. So yeah,
I have not
so
seen this.
Pro Bowls are not, well, Pro Bowls are dead. So they are not going to happen anymore. So there you go. There's the article.
I didn't
Oh,
see
yeah.
it very long.
Yeah. So they're not happening. They're not happening.
Yeah, missed that.
So yeah. So yeah. So let's get Champions League, GFL going in the sandpit, right? Let's have the bowl winners from each league playing games against each other.
Oh, I like that. I like
bet
that.
I bet that'd be an
That
absolute
would be
slog.
extremely interesting.
It would be. Would it be worth the overhead? That's the question. And hours and hours of trying to get it set up.
I'd happily pay a tenner if I won the bowl to take on whoever wins the GFL and just prove which wins the superior league.
Well, there you go. You say you're saying you're happy to pay a tenner, but what you're not asking
I'd
is
pay a tenner.
what would R&R be happy to get paid to go through the hassle of trying to set that thing up? So,
surely it can't be that. Surely it can't be.
There you go. Bring it up at the next live draft. I've got someone to bring it up at the next
Yeah.
live draft.
Well, you can do it for me, Greg, because I won't be there probably. Although,
Right.
has the date even been announced yet?
I don't think I've seen anything.
I think so.
I don't think I've seen anything.
I'm
So
assuming I won't be there because I'm assuming I'll be on holiday when it's on. But...
September the something.
yeah,
well, it's usually the first weekend in September, isn't it?
it has been past few years. Yeah. Right. Okay. If we talked enough bollocks around
For this week.
potential coach
Yes.
movements, we've touched on affinity teams, which is always another touchy subject. And we've now confirmed as well that Pro Bowls, may they rest in peace, and congratulations, Jez, for being the last coach to not set a game plan and still win it. Well done.
And win.
Your legacy is firm and set in place. Well done. Okay, so there we go. We're back. We've covered a bit of week 7. Talked a little bit about other things going on. Hopefully not too controversial. We'll wait and see. Thanks, fellas. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cheers.